Hi, welcome back. Again, my name is Katie, and today we're going to discuss something that I've enjoyed for the past few years. And I find it very therapeutic, and that is journaling. I have several books that I've journaled in that contains either art or sometimes my feelings. And so I wanted to share a little bit about that and how that makes me release whatever I'm feeling. The first one I'm going to show is an art journal that is basically, well, it's not really basically anything, but it's things that I've enjoyed drawing. Um, and I've learning to practice releasing. And one of the, like something like this is what they call neuro neurographic art or something like that. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong, but it's where you just literally take lines and you're interconnecting them together and then drawing from that. And so then you can color it and write in whatever you want. Here I've added smile, stay motivated, um, forward, not backward, joy, friends, no, say no when you can, um, being free, and so forth. So one thing about when you do this kind of art is when you intersect the lines, um, it's just kind of cool how it turns out art wise. And then I'm going to show you um, something that just was pure. Gee, I want to cut paper and glue it together. There you go. So this is what it is. It has no sense to it whatsoever, but it's very releasing. Oh, but this is our new pup. She's now 1 year old, but this is Danny Girl, and I drew her from a picture. So I kind of like that. Um, but again, I wanted to draw patterns and that kind of thing. Um, Believe it or not, this is a picture of me that I drew from a picture wearing a silly hat and me with a mustache, which apparently you do get when you get older. Here's me when I'm pissed off. And so what I do here and what I find that is very releasing is the colors red and black. So when you're angry, you can draw in the darker colors and kind of release that, mood and see it here on the paper. So I wrote blame stolen life. And why did I do that? I don't know. I didn't even date it. But anyway, it goes forward from there. Oh, here we go. Here's one again, angry. This one says eyes wide shut. Um, and I've never seen the movie, by the way, but apparently I was fuming out my head. And then back here is a picture of Papa Smurf. I do teach a drawing class, and it's following a video on YouTube called Art Hub for Kids. I recommend it if you have grandchildren or young kids. It's very cool. And then I venture into really ridiculous stuff, but it's still fun. And of course, I'm not saying here whatsoever I'm an artist, because I'm not. But then I went into my doctor's office, and sometimes she's a bit of a grump. So she was talking to me about my health, and she said, I'm missing out on joy. So I decided to make her a journal. I started making this journal back in November 2025, and it's not decorated on the outside, but it's all about finding joy. So first picture is I have this cool little pull-out tab, and it's just happy things that you can think about. Anything that distracts you from your mood is good. So It goes from there. And when you do your art, it doesn't have to be anything like a masterpiece at all, because obviously this is not, but it's just, hopefully it brings someone joy. And so I'm looking through here for, well, who doesn't like flowers, right? It brings you joy. So these journals I have, again, a million of them, bring me nothing but joy. Now this one, I wanted to be more art, yeah, with words. And so I started doodling. And I might not be the best doodler, but I doodle. And it makes you feel so fun. Who doesn't think this little guy right here is fun? Who doesn't love the sun? Who doesn't love the connection from your heart? So this is all things you can do, and you don't have to even be good. Um, Here is an anger page. We have a look at the sun with the teeth, and apparently I'm wondering why. So who knows what the day was? Oh, it's 3/6, March 6th. Who knows why I am wondering why, but I am. And then again, I wanted to draw a picture of, this is our Annie. And unfortunately, she's passed away, but she was just the cutest little pup that you ever saw. I did inherit her from my dad, and she just had character. And life brings you animals that, if you're lucky enough, have character. I We have um, a dog that is purely character. A cat, Millie. She looks like Buddha when she's sitting up. And believe me, she does sit up. Like, that you see the Buddha belly and all that. And she's a character. She lets you know with her eyes and her ears when she's happy, when she's not, she's constantly hungry, because she's like that. We don't feed her constantly, but she is demanding about that. And the other thing is, she's adorable. We also have a male cat named, well, we call him Dude or Mr. or whatever. His real name is Mooney. And he is a beautiful cat. Just, he doesn't care about eating. So he's very skinny. He's been to the vet. I'm not sure what's going on with him, but um, really skinny. Um, he doesn't really, I think it's a competition of the food between Millie the fat cat and Mr. with the food. Maybe he just doesn't get enough. We've actually secluded him in a room so he has a peaceful time to eat. He's just not interested. He's really kind of a ADHD kind of cat. And then we have 3 birds, and we have had one bird officially for 4 years this month, and that is Coco. She is a cockatiel, and she's moody too. They're all moody. I don't know. So anyway, back to the journaling. I get my supplies. Well, gotten most of my supplies from the curb. People will, at Christmas will take wrapping paper and the tissues and ribbons, and hey, I used them this year, and then toss them. Well, I snatch them up, so I want to save them from the landfill and do some art. The pastels in here I've had for a while, and other things that I've collected throughout my artistic journey. And so, again, it is sort of a therapeutic thing, but it's also a craft, so you can make it very fun. I've made journals for um, friends that are made from recycled items such as cardboard, cereal boxes, cracker boxes, you name it. And then you just take pages, whatever you have, wrapping paper, whatever, and cardboard. Believe me, the earth has too much cardboard. So you can make things out of cardboard. Everything you can make. I mean, get an Amazon box. How many of us get Amazon boxes routinely? You can do so much with those boxes, and definitely recycle them or reuse them or that kind of thing. But the main point today is to talk about the journaling. If you're not sure how to do a journal or how to write it or even how to start, well, this is what I recommend. I actually talk to my guys in my classes. at work, and I say to them, all it takes is for you to pick up a pencil, a pen, a crayon, and start it. Just get busy on that paper. Um, if you're angry and upset, don't hold on to it. Don't, feel like you have a grudge against someone, because that's not healthy for you. It's very good to release it. Um, and again, I'm going to say this, there's too much negativity in the world, so let's make it positive. You can do all kinds of things with a crayon. If you haven't seen the story, I'm forgetting the title. I believe it's about the purple crayon. He colors and colors and colors. And so I think that's so cool. I actually also take things, random things, as you've seen yesterday, my needlepoint or whatever, and I frame things. So I have been saving up on vintage menus, not menu and then stop, menus. So I can frame them and hang them in my kitchen. I think that would be just wonderful. Also, I take random things that mean something to me and frame them. And I'm going to share with you one really random thing I'm going to share with you is, again, this is sort of like journaling. I have right over here excuse me for a second, while I dig into, it was right here, but now it's buried. My very favorite bath towel. It's so thin and it's holy, but I love it. So I was thinking I could cut it up. I could journal with it, apply it to a journal page. I could actually, here's my keen thought, could I actually take this towel, cut out a piece, maybe some of including the circle and the frayed edges and all, and put it in a frame and maybe embroider my favorite towel. Sort of like, a piece of the Berlin Wall, but not quite. Anyway, I enjoy it so much. So today, I decided today I got up, talked to my son, George, and George lives in Florida too. He lives about a good 2-hour drive in Ocala. And unfortunately, we don't get to see each other as much as we would like. And George said, Mom, I'm so proud of you, but you need to pick a topic that's teachable, because I love to teach. So today, under his recommendation, and in the future, under his recommendation, I am going to start sharing some ideas and help you, maybe sort through your feelings and start journaling. You don't have to make sense in it. Again, I say this because when you start journaling, you might just be mad. You might just be so really mad that you don't want to say anything but bad words. Well, that's okay, because you can take those bad words and you can make them into art. Believe me, I have. I've done it before. I find that it does help. And then you look at it later and you go, wow, what was I mad at? But, it helps. And so I wish you the best. And I really hope that you will start your journey with journaling. Maybe we can journal together and I can share some thoughts, like how I even start. So there is a ton of videos on journaling, and many are just phenomenal. And people will either talk about, journaling just purely for your mind, giving your mind peace, and not peace. Your mind needs that peace so your body, your whole spirit can rest. Journaling is something that is good for both men and women. If you don't have the money to go buy one, you can definitely get a composition book from the dollar store. And that is just lined paper. And that's what my students have gotten. And we might just, color one thing. And so it might be how they're feeling. So how they're feeling, if it's a happy face or it's a sad face or, a bewildered face. That's a wonderful one. We have the lips kind of zigzagging, but it is something purely releasing. Let it out is what I say. Believe me, I can hold it in better than most people, but from my brain, I find it important to release it. So I might start the morning when it's quiet, journaling, or doing a craft. And believe me, I have more craft stuff than anybody. Well, not probably anybody, but most people. People might consider that, you know, hey, why don't you just center on one thing? Well, I find that to be boring. I really find anything centered to be boring. So it helps me to keep focused when I need to be centered. So there's that. Um, anyway, let's journal. Let's learn together. Let's release those negative thoughts and let's see how much success you can feel once you start. And by the way, when you're at the dollar store getting that composition book, buy a box of crayons, either that or colored pencils, anything that you can use artistically. You might also find at garage sales, people will just buy someone a journal and then they don't journal. So they, sell at their eBay or not their eBay, at their garage sale. So they're out there, believe me. Um, Thank you so much for joining me today and happy journaling. Bye.